So for this Team Up with Workout Wednesday, we have a challenge from Lorna Brown. So we're working with Salesforce data here. So although we're not connecting directly to Salesforce, we've given you extracts to make this easier without having to set up your own Salesforce environment. We basically have two tables that we're looking at. We have the opportunity table. So if we take a look at that, then this gives us all the information about our opportunities. We have many different fields here. We can see when those opportunities were created, when they close, etc. and so forth. Similarly, we also have an opportunity history table. So this gives us basically the historical information of when each opportunity has moved between all these different stages. So we'll start off with our opportunity table. What we want to do is we want to have in the similar format to this history table, we want our creator date and our close date to be in the same field. So those two dates that we have, we want them to be pivoted so that they're in the same field. So if we go to our columns to rows pivot step, then we have our close date and our created date coming to be pivoted. And we're just renaming those to date and stage. So the created date becomes opened. The way that we edited that is just by double clicking in here to edit those values. And then we change our close date to being expected close date. We want to update this stage a little bit further though, because if we scroll all the way over to the right, then we can see that we actually have a stage name field in this table as well. And we have closed lost and closed won. So we want to update the expected close date to be either closed lost or closed won. So if we look at that calculation and how we change it, so we're saying if our current stage is equal to expected close date, and our stage name, that field all the way over on the right, contains the word close, then we're going to take the stage name. Otherwise, keep it as the stage. So we can see that our opened has remained exactly the same. We still have 219 rows for our 219 opportunities and when they were opened. But now we also know whether we have an expected close date for them, so they're still open basically, or if we know that those opportunities have closed and whether they were won or lost. Now we're going to remove a lot of the fields. We're only going to keep our date, stage, and ID. And what we're going to do is we're going to union that to the opportunity history table. So we have our op ID, our dates, our stages, our table names, and our sort order that comes through. We're going to get rid of actually the table names and the sort order in our next step, because we're going to bring in that sort order after this aggregation step instead. So if we just group by each stage name and group by each sort order to create this lookup table here, if I just move that up, then when we join this aggregated table onto our data flow that we're working with, we're doing a left join so that our expected close date and opened still remain within the data set. Then we now have information about all of those sort orders. And then we're just going to update for the opened and expected close date with a quick calculation to say if that stage is opened, then it's a 0 for the sort order. If it's expected close date, then it's 11. Otherwise, keep the sort order as it is. So that just gets rid of those nulls. And after our union, we may have a little bit of duplication occurring. So for example, if I go to this opportunity here, then you can see that I've got two rows which are saying exactly the same information, closed one with sort order 9 on the exact same dates. So I just want to deduplicate this data source before I output it. So I just group by all of the fields that I currently have in my data set. And that is the challenge completed. The reason we had that duplication, of course, is because we had information about when the opportunities closed from the opportunity table and from the opportunity history table. So in certain cases, we will have that duplication occurring. So we just do this grouping in order to avoid that. Okay, so thanks again to Lorna for this challenge, and thank you very much for watching.